Svitlana!
Hello, Arne.
Hi there, and hello everyone at home. Thanks for tuning in once again. We were talking about some beautiful, interesting, and fun openings in the last couple of episodes. Now we're going to some different smart moves, as I can see. What's on
Mhm.
the chessboard right now? Wow, we're
It's
under
it looks like a crazy
attack.
position. Yeah.
Yes.
Today I wanted to do one of my favorite formats where we'll guess some of the most unexpected, surprising, or creative moves that happened in real games. So,
Oh, that's a real game.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
indeed.
this will work both on the calculation, understanding, and creativity at the same time. Well, Arne, you're already a creative player and person yourself, so I think you'll like some of these.
I'm already thrilled. Look at this position. Everybody at home, you can of course see all those positions here in the ChessBase news article. You can just click on the download button, put this in your repertoire. Svitlana Smart Moves repertoire, right? You should have hundreds of games by now and openings and all of that. And thanks for always tuning in and following us and giving some comments. We appreciate this a lot. So let us do this. We're black.
Yeah, so I wanted to. This is not the position that I want you to guess yet,
Oh,
but it does look like a really crazy position and it takes some
indeed.
time to adjust to. So here in the game, Black played h5, which was the wrong continuation. Of course, it looks like Black is about to get mated, and
Very
oh yeah,
much
by the way,
so,
this
yeah.
is a game by two very strong players. It was an Asian Continental. So
Jeez.
as Black is playing Le Quang Liem, and so it's a very high level game, and even grandmasters would, when it comes to such crazy positions, it takes a lot of calculation. And when you don't have the engine next to you, it's just completely impossible to know what's going on. So in the game, he played h5, and after queen h5, bishop a3, king b3, um, black resigned. So the game just ended right there. But I want to show the crazy variation that could have happened and that I want you to guess.
Okay.
So this could have happened, and it's very close to the game, but there's just a little detail as to why this doesn't work, but bishop a3 on the previous move does. So the first move is bishop a3. Here it's nothing crazy, it's a normal check. But after king to b3, I want you to try to find the only winning move here for black, which is one of those unexpected moves that you only see basically
Once in a thousands, ten
yeah.
thousands, or 100,000 of times. Yeah, for you at home, depending on what your chess level niveau is, try to use this as a training chance, a training opportunity. Pause the video and think about it for yourself, because it's always benefiting your calculation skill to think in your head and try to find the solution. So we have plenty of checks here, but they all look a bit futile. Every check can be countered with taking away the piece. Well, there's another check though. There's even a check on a1 after all. It could be a knight check, which is quite funky.
Mhm.
Does this help after all? So let's go through all the checks, because that's how I
Sure.
need to check out of this. So
Yeah.
d4 check can be just
Knight d4.
just oh
Mhm.
yeah. Do you want to take away? Click
Yeah.
on.
I forget, how do I do
I
that?
think you go on training. No,
Okay.
sorry, on analysis.
Yeah.
Yes, and assisted analysis.
Okay.
That's the one, exactly. Okay,
Yeah.
good. So oh yeah, that's good, but that's not good for us,
And the
I think.
problem is that we can never make a move that isn't a check, that isn't forced, because
Exactly.
otherwise we're gonna get mated.
So that yeah, well, there's a oh yeah, wait. I see something
Yeah.
actually. Yes. Okay, so let's
Okay.
let's give another check on c2 now with the bishop.
Okay. So what happens if I
Well,
go
the,
here?
the king shouldn't take, of course, otherwise my plan doesn't work. Now, what about a check on c4 now? I'm giving checks like a
Yep.
maniac.
Yep.
Okay, I think slowly but surely our checks are fading away.
Yeah, I don't see another one.
Pity. Well, I see a couple of ones, but the more checks I give, I can give up all my black pieces,
Yeah.
which is also not very helpful after all.
I mean, at least a nice way to end
Okay,
the
good.
game.
That just didn't work. So we have to
No,
try a
but
different way.
the actual solution is combining like basically all of the checks that you see. Combining all of them.
It looks a little bit like, yes, it looks a little bit like
Yeah,
this
almost all of them. So you've already
exactly.
named the right move. So what's the most unusual way that you can find the check?
The most unusual way I can find a check.
You've already named it. And it was the right start.
It was the knight going to d4 or...
No,
Oh no, the
knight
bishop
d4.
to c2 check.
No, that's also I wouldn't say that's the most unusual one.
So it's the queen taking on b6. But I didn't name that.
No, you
But that's
didn't.
not unusual. Ah, okay. So it is actually really, it's the knight check on a1. Wow.
Exactly. It is the promotion to a1 to a knight. So I mean,
That
it
makes a
looks
difference.
like a strange move, but it's the only winning move here. It's actually, I think it's such a pity that the game didn't go here. The rest of the games we'll see actually did follow through with the creative combination, but this one I think was just too crazy for a person to find, even if that person is 2700. So knight a1, that's the first check. Now it might seem strange why we're doing it, but if we go through with the rest of the combination, it will start to make sense. So how do we continue, and why did we need to include this knight a1 check?
Yeah, so there must be something with this rook on d1, which is now on a1.
Kind of. So we wanted the rook to go away from the d file.
Yeah.
Actually, because we want to make that knight d4 check that you've mentioned before, we want to make it work.
So, well, let's give it knight d4 check then.
We do it a move after, so not yet,
Oh,
because here nothing would kind of change. So here the bishop will still take, and we don't have the time to take it back. If we had the time to just recapture and then follow up our attack, then everything would be nice. But the problem here is that every single move we make has to be with a check. And all the crazy checks that you've said before, they're the ones that are actually happening. So knight d4 is the second.
I am so baffled. Good. Which is
the
really...
idea is to get the king kind of I guess stuck in those three files.
Fair enough.
And that's what the whole idea is based on. So how would we open the B file?
Well, that's a very valid and good question. I mean, I don't... how do we open the B file? Well, can we give a check? No, we cannot. On C2 now? No, it's
so we actually never want to give the check on C2 because the bishop here is protecting the king from going to C2, right? So we want the king stuck on that B file. It's already, once again, it's a check you've already named, and it's a check that looks crazy at first.
Okay. So, okay, queen B6 check.
Exactly. Queen B6 check.
Oh, come on.
Bishop takes B6. Now your knight D4 idea, and the point is that we have cleared the B file so that the bishop can take. And
now we can use our... Oh gosh, it's really
now
working.
Can you find the checkmate in?
Yes. 3 or 4?
4. Yeah.
So it's a rook B8 check, the C rook.
Rook B8 check, which one? C rook?
The C rook, yeah.
Exactly.
And I believe the bishop has to go in between or something. Even.
Yeah, the bishop can extend it by one move.
So we take this bishop, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's say here.
Yeah, and now we have to give a check on B4, I think, with the bishop.
Yeah.
And now we have to go to d2 with the bishop.
Exactly.
And that's it, right?
Yeah, that's the checkmate. In case the
Where
king
did
goes,
you find this
yeah,
position?
basically.
This is one of the craziest positions I've ever seen, and the craziest variations I've ever.
Yeah, me too, honestly. The fact that usually the way that I like choose the puzzles to give is like if it's the only winning move, I think it makes it even more beautiful.
Yeah.
And the fact that this knight a1 was the only winning move, queen b6 also the only thing. And the point is, if you don't do that, you're actually like completely losing and getting checkmated on the next move, which is what is making all these moves forcing. But I really, even though it's a very tough exercise, like especially in a real game, I feel like it's impossible to calculate all of that.
Yeah.
But it's still
sensational, sensational. And I still can't believe the fact that this was a real game. Also,
yeah.
I mean, when do you have the chance to first under-promote and then sacrifice your queen?
Right.
And
the rest of the
your
pieces
knight
too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then checkmate in another couple of moves.
Yeah, but unfortunately in the game he played h5, and then it was just a sad moment for black.
Mamma mia. So I would like to listen to Le Quang Liem about this missed opportunity, how he felt after that.
I don't think he would be happy to.
Maybe not too happy.
No, but maybe it's also something he remembers, and it was a lesson for him. But the reason why this variation doesn't work with queen on h5. So I'm promoting to a queen because I accidentally did it to a queen, but it doesn't matter. Just imagine it's a knight with a check. So the reason why here it's not the same is because, let's see, wait, does he have to do that? A1 knight, right? Rook takes, queen b6, mandatory, knight d4.
So the question is, does white have to take the knight even?
Yeah, I feel like this is one of the.
Oh. Yeah, you're right. We didn't even talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
So how on earth does this continue from here now? Is it... Why? What? Wait, what? No way. I think I see it. It's rook takes on c4?
Rook takes c4, let's try it.
And rook a4 checkmate?
Oh, rook a4. Rook a4 is not checkmate though.
Isn't it?
No.
No! Why can the king go to c3?
Yeah, I was thinking of this. Here, doesn't this work?
Yes. I mean, you have to look at it like 27 times to really
you have to.
believe
I have
it.
to also, like, even though I've seen these variations before, I still need to do another time, like another round of like why it's.
This is even crazier.
It's working. Wait, let me just promote it to a knight instead because that messed up. How do I do that?
Well, no. Do you have an auto queen, right?
Oh yeah, I might. Okay, but we'll just keep it like that, I guess.
Yeah, I have another question though. What happens if the king goes to a2, which is difficult? So maybe there is a shift or control you have to click while the promotion is happening. Yeah, that's possible. That's what I usually do, but somehow in this variation it wasn't working. But here, as we were talking about, this variation actually it's not winning for black, because black doesn't have to take this rook. Oh, come on. That's the point, and that here, unfortunately, there is no checkmate. Oh, so gosh, all of these subtleties, as I said, it's completely impossible, even when you're not in a game, completely impossible to understand it.
But yeah, so this is why this inclusion of the way it doesn't work in this variation. But the way that we had it in the game, it was pretty much forced, because here king to c3 is something that we didn't mention, but surprisingly, at the end of all this, because the queen is still on h2,
Oh, we can give a check on f3?
we can do the check on f3, and if we count up the material, we end up material.
Okay. Yeah, we do.
So that's how it differs, the variation with h5 included and not included, which is also something completely coincidental and
Absolutely
crazy that it happened.
crazy.
So
Okay, if you don't download this position, it's your own fault. You have to analyze it, you have to check it, you have to double check it, and you have to share it with other people. It's crazy. I can't believe it.
do you want to move on to the next one?
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, I could stay with this one for longer, but yeah. Yeah. It's like, you've analyzed it. We have talked about it. You've checked it, but I would still want to like try to just like find out even more moves at one point. But wait, let's step. You can do this at home. Let's step on to the next one. It's I'm really stunned by this game. It's just beautiful, very very well picked, and well done to the two Asian players who have made this happen. I wanted to see the whole game, like really, like it's so cool.
Yeah.
All right.
So this is the next one. I feel like this one is more famous.
Oh, okay.
It's I've seen it in a lot of like strategy books, and it happened a while ago. I know, not a while ago.
2015.
Yeah, that's why I feel like I've seen it in books, but maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was just online. But it is quite a famous maneuver. What do you think White should play here? So it's this position is not winning right away, but there's one move which is really surprising and just a crazy move, as the topic is, and it's the one that sets up the best trap for Black. So it is White to play, and what are the ideas and how do you think we can implement it?
Now we have a problem. We're getting checkmated in a single-handed move. So
Queen d1 is always Black's counterplay, and unfortunately it comes with check here. So that's actually the point of White's next move, is that they're trying to avoid that idea, and they do so in a very creative way.
It has to be quite forced. So how can we force in some spice in this position? So first, of course, we probably have to look at some checks once again. And the one which is... Well, the problem is that the king can always escape to h6 if the queen
Exactly.
is
so you're looking at this check?
Yeah,
king to h6, and this would be a repetition if the players wanted to go for it. So yeah, that's one of the things to consider. What are other checks?
We can give some pawn checks, of course. Let's start with f4, exactly.
King here.
Now the queen goes to h6, maybe.
And I feel like the king is doing some interesting things here. And actually, I wouldn't be surprised that Black would be completely winning here, because how would you defend against mate?
Exactly. Well, you can defend against mate with queen g4.
Okay, yeah. That's true. But what happens on even something like d2?
h4.
And there's new mate. h4. But then I have some checks here. Or
King
here.
F2.
Not sure which one is better. King f2.
King f2. You're not gonna get me, Svitlana. I will outflank you.
outflanking
Now
the
it's
important
white
topic.
who's winning.
That's true. That's true.
Next
Here,
game.
this variation. Yeah, this one I feel like my king. No, the king. I'm pretty sure
It looked safe.
it looked safe, but then we did something maybe around this point. So, how do we win for black?
Well, we could easily just win by giving a check on e2.
Is that winning?
I think we will win a pawn. No, isn't it like this? No.
No, we wouldn't win a pawn. This endgame is not something we want here. I'm definitely not trying to trade queens, I would say.
Okay.
Or, well, that we're not going to do that. We're going to do this.
Yeah. Well, it's not one. No, it's.
Well, yeah, it's a normal position, but definitely not something out of.
Okay.
That we
So
would
how
do.
does
What
black win now? What the heck?
But I'm sure that bringing the king, like, that making these checks cannot be winning for white because they ran out of the check, which like must be really, really important. Because now we get the move, and in such positions, getting a move is just deadly most of the time. So if we kick the queen, he's gonna go queen f3. d2 now, h4. You have your h4 ideas quite a lot.
Yes. So maybe we have to counter it with. No, it's also not working. Well. So for you at home here, we're stuck.
Well, yeah, I am stuck because I didn't even think that allowing the king to g3 was gonna be any good for white.
Yeah, so yeah, and I understand because I even stopped after the king goes to h2 in my head already.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
There's no
but
way,
then
right?
I found queen g4. Exclamation marks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if it's exclamation marks because we might just be missing something.
Yeah, let's put on stockfish. Let's put on or
okay.
Let's
no, I don't like stockfish doing that. Yeah, h5, so kicking the queen, but then I was confused what to do here.
Yeah, after f3, right?
So yeah, apparently it's actually an endgame. I was looking for checkmates, but because this king is over here on like a really active square, this is a winning endgame, and that I would
it could be
believe that. No, because next move
G2.
we're playing rook c1 and winning all of these pawns.
You will get even
more. And
yeah,
if you I guess defend against that, then we're just winning in
B5,
other ways. So
rook b6, and that should do it.
Yeah, so the point why this endgame is winning, like it's actually I was expecting some checkmate that we were not seeing, but this would also be understandable because if the rook ever moves, then we're just like winning a bunch of pawns.
Yeah.
No, we're not gonna take. We're gonna play. What does he want? He wants this. Yeah, okay. He wants to take the pawns in a different way.
In a good manner. Okay. Wow, that's.
So yeah, the point of that endgame is just that the white's king is stuck and he will never be able to activate himself because he will lose all the pawns that he has. And for that reason, black's extra pawn on the b file is actually winning. Yeah, so this is even more complicated than I thought it was gonna be. But I mean that's an amazing variation in this f4 line. That turns out to not be good for white because of all these, even because of the endgame. But f4 was not a move that was played.
But even if f4 is played, I mean, we didn't even calculate the moves like king h5 or f5 or king going back to f6.
That's right. Wait, why did we not go to h5?
Don't know.
Now this whole variation wouldn't be working.
I don't think so. Now the king is really safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
There's nothing else wrong with h5?
But look, you know what we've done? We've
But there must
calculated a
be.
bit.
Yeah. No, but
No,
I'm
that's
just...
over. That's over.
That's true. So I guess f4 leaves a bit more options and leaves the king a good path to go towards ours.
Mhm.
So we haven't looked at h4.
That
So
is...
h4 would
yeah.
lead to a draw.
Oh, because the king goes to h5 again, right?
Exactly. The king goes to h5 and escapes this. There's no more checks really
But
after that.
Draw is still
And
good for white here.
yeah, so taking on h4 would be bad. So if he thought of h4 and king takes h4, it was working in the king h4 variation, but it wasn't because of the king h5.
Oopsie.
So something like this would be winning for white because of the extra pawn and because the king is just like about to get mated. So this would be working, but the move that was made actually is a sacrifice. It's a quiet move. That's what I'll say. Of all the forcing moves that we have here,
I
it's
mean,
actually
a quiet move.
no, it is a sacrifice and it is a quiet move.
Quiet.
It's both.
Quiet little
Yeah.
sacrifice, like a really silent sacrifice.
Yeah, once you'll see this movie, you'll see that it's
You're
very
like,
silent.
oh my god, that's such a silent sacrifice. Yeah. Okay, this is turning into ASMR chess. So now, what is the tiny little sacrifice here? I know it. You touched the right piece already. It's the king going to g1.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
I
thought about it before. It really, really true.
Yeah. So
that's cool.
We talked about it from the very few seconds that queen d1 is threatening us checkmate. So king g1 played in the game was
that's so cool.
Yeah, was actually I would say it's the best move in the position. So although technically it's still equal because black has one defense. Black has one defense, but I think it's really difficult one to see. The only defense was rook d5.
Wow, another silent move. You don't take the sacrifice.
Exactly. It's really hard not to take that sacrifice.
Yeah.
And here's the one line that kind of
it's like in poker when you have like this super high jackpot in the middle, or everybody put money in, and then in the last turn you go like, I'm not taking it, I'm going out. It's like you're not taking the sacrifice, otherwise you'll lose. And you made a good move by losing a lot of money, but not all of your money.
That's true. That's true. That's a good analogy. So this was gonna be the only like non-human defense. King to f6, and white would have a strong attack, but there's no forced win here. So the game would still go on, and we never know how it would have ended. But rook d5 and king f6 were just really difficult to find.
Yes.
And nice. Everything else has a nice counter attack to it. So queen c6 also didn't happen, but taking this pawn is not good either because this king stays stuck, and no matter where he goes, there's gonna be some checkmate.
Like checkmate almost. Yeah.
Some of them take longer than the others. Some of them are more even, I wouldn't say this is positional, but more based on understanding of why this is winning, because this king will just never get out and the rook will go to d7, and a position like that where white's king is safe would be completely winning for white. So let's go to the real deal, which is queen d1. What do you think?
Well, I would think we should move our king to h2. First of all, because we have no other choice. So.
Yeah, after long deliberation, king h2. So now this is the amazing position that is truly captivating, because black is up a pawn and it is black's move, but there's still no rescue.
That's crazy.
The game goes on with rook c6, and now there's only one winning move. It's not too unexpected, but that's where white has to be precise.
So f4 looks tempting to me now, but we don't have a follow-up chess, do we?
But
check after f5.
King can come back or go somewhere where there's no check.
King f5, that's annoying. Well, there's another check. No, it's not working. No. So how about... No, it's also not working. I don't want the king to escape to h6, so I think I have to leave my queen here. So what about h4 now?
It's once again a quiet move, actually.
Jeez,
The thing is, we don't
king-
want the king to go back to f7, f6,
Uh-huh.
and like escape there.
So it's queen to g7.
No, it's not queen to g7, but
It
close.
is queen to d. No. Yes. No.
No.
e7.
E7 was played in the game, but this just transposed into what we needed. So he repeated moves once, and
Okay,
then
yeah,
we went back to this
that's
position.
what I wanted to do. I wanted to repeat one to
Exactly.
catch up a little time, which is very important.
Even though we're past move 40, it doesn't matter.
Totally, yeah. No. That's very psychologically correct too. So, okay, now.
Sometimes it is, actually.
Might
And
be.
now it's not an unexpected move. It's just, we just need to cut the king from going back to the F file and escaping there.
Yeah, but how to do so? I think I named everything. Is it queen h8?
You named
That's the
everything
last
except
one.
queen f7.
That's true. Why is that? Why can I not just take this pawn?
It's because we're down so much material that we don't even look at pawns anymore. And this is winning because the queen f4 is a threat, some h4, some f4, everything is a threat. And whenever the king goes back to h6, we simply are going to play queen f8 and kick it back to where we want him to be, and then we're going to checkmate. I can show how the rest of the game went, but I would say that it's already amazing that it's still going on, and even a few more quiet moves happened.
Yeah.
And it's all based on ideas, and I mean, I think it's really hard to do this in a real game because you never want to give the move to the opponent, but strong players know when their threats are strong enough to even let the opponent have the move and not be able to defend against it. And the game ended here because there's checkmates threatened everywhere, and there's no
h6. I still didn't see that once again we can just take the pawn. My goodness.
But you saw king g1, which is the way harder move.
Well, at least I saw that, yes.
Yeah.
We have one more? Yeah,
we do. Actually, how much time do we have?
As much as you want, after all.
One or two more. Okay.
Let's see how. Yeah, let's do 2 more. So let us. Oh wow. So we are.
Wait. I want to get to the actual position. This is the actual position that we start from. So this one is more along the lines of a tactic. I would say. So what are the first moves that come to mind for you?
Queen takes e4, of course.
Queen takes e4. Okay, you just like you really like your queen sacrifices. I already know that from playing Blitz together. But
there's like hardly any game when there's not a queen sacrifice, which I'm trying.
True.
And of course, Svitlana
and
knows
the annoying
about this.
part is that they're
me into
actually
this.
sometimes good.
Yeah, maybe in a Blitz game, maybe. No good. Okay, so now for real. There are. I mean, it looks so tempting with the queen sacrifice, to be honest. But okay, let's think about knight. No. I would like to give a checkmate, but I'm not sure how to.
That is usually the goal.
That is not working. This isn't working either. I mean, there's a black pawn hanging around on c5.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is try to find. Yeah, it is actually based on checkmate in a lot of these lines, but black's pawns and king look very solid, and we're gonna try to prove that they're not as solid as they look.
Okay, so
even the ones that are defended.
So how about we just go knight g5?
And that's part of the idea. That's the second move of the variation. So it's part of the idea. If we go there right away.
Okay, okay, okay.
It's not
I'm seeing
the
something which I didn't see
not
before.
a sport
It's
move. What did you see?
queen g5
Ah, queen g5.
because we're attacking the rook
But
on d8.
f6?
Yeah, and then we go back and offer a
And we
draw.
made a weakness, right? Yeah. No,
Say
that's
sorry, and then we
never
offer a
mind.
draw, and or say like, yeah,
So
that
why did
was
you want to
my
provoke
fault.
f6?
I don't know.
Mm,
Why can't I find a nice little plan here? I think in a
Look,
real game, in a long game, I would sacrifice the queen and just go for it. Look, I mean, I'm
well, I'll
getting.
make you happy and say that we're sacrificing a little less than a queen, but it's still a sacrifice.
I like that. I'm very happy about this. So, how do we
What do
do
you think can be
that?
sacrificed? That's
The bishop. I'm still thinking the
sure.
bishop
We're
is.
actually that's actually gonna be part of it, but the first move is we're sacrificing even something else.
Is it the rook?
It might be.
But how? I mean, I know how to sacrifice a rook, but e6
How to do it
or
well is
d7
a different question.
or something completely different.
But when I saw it, I didn't even understand why it was like how it can be working.
Oh boy, what is happening? This is challenging. How are you doing at home? Is this something which is teasing your brain a little, or did you get it in a split second? Well, how about we take on e6 with the rook?
That's the rook sacrifice that I was talking about.
Because
That's
now,
exactly it.
I mean, yeah, now we can get the queen to.
Now you're knight g5. Oh, now you wanted queen g5.
Oops.
But I wanted your knight g5 idea.
Yeah, let's go for the knight g5 idea.
So now we sacrifice yet another bishop. And
now we take on e6 and
that's right, but with the queen, because we wanted with a check.
yes,
and everything is based on
that's
a
a
back
mate.
rank. Mate. And if king h8, then what is it going to be?
Oh, it's a smothered mate.
Yeah, it is something that
So cool.
we see a lot. So
Okay,
this would be a smothered
truly,
mate.
I wanted to not take with the queen, of course, but with the knight in this situation.
Yep.
But the queen, of
No,
course,
but-
is the winner. It's beautiful.
So black played the best defense, which was h6.
Annoying. Well,
Yeah, which is annoying. But the game just ends up
oh yeah, that's a nice.
you just end up winning the
discovered.
exchange back, which is fine enough compensation. And not only that, but the game also ends by non-positional means, but by a tactic. And there's
Now finally the knight takes on e6.
and if the knight takes on e6, then queen e6 and queen f7 is actually unfortunate.
Oh, yeah, is it? Yeah, it is.
And this is like still
it is
playable.
very unfortunate. Yeah.
Still playable, but it's like
Not
both
good
sides
enough.
have chances. Well, it's a very similar tactic to what you just said.
Just a bit different. So how about
one correction?
the queen cannot take now.
The queen cannot, but
The
it's
bishop
all
takes
about
on c6.
Then queen takes on c6.
Yes.
So we attack the base of.
Do we?
Chain. Yeah. Whenever you want to make a tactic like that work.
Oh, okay. So knight takes d7?
Yeah, and that's
oh,
better because
the
now
queen can
we win
take
the rook.
e6.
If that ever happens.
Oh, I have to sharpen my tactics. What's happening here?
Yeah, and then of course it's not like it's not that crystal clear still,
Yes.
because knight d7 is not the most forcing move,
Yeah.
but we're still getting our knight there and winning both of these pawns, which is good enough. And the game soon ends with some more material
territory.
and yeah, these tactics are very complicated, and I think they're highly intuitive for the players too. So, you don't see this final position the second you played rook e6, right?
Uh-huh.
That's not how it's played, but it's mostly you see this one and you evaluate that it's good for white. You have an attack going on, your light squared bishop is a lot stronger, and you go on from there and find all these little tactics on the way. So it might look really complicated to do it all from the start, but it's not really done from the start. It's based on the more you do these exercises that develop your creativity, the more you're gonna see these and get inspired to play them.
Yes. Nice
they're not always,
one.
yeah,
So
they're
that
not always
was
accurate.
it was
but
Jonathan Levitt. I had a
would you rather
nice
do
interview
would
with
you
him.
rather do a Tal exercise?
Yes.
Or there's no or. Okay. So we're gonna do a Tal exercise.
We're going for Tal.
There was no need for an or. Okay, so this is a game by Mikhail Tal, and it's also one of a very famous tactical motives. So he was playing, this was a game from the Olympiad against a Dutch player who I do not know, but probably was good at the time. What do you think White played here? And why did Tal sacrifice his knight on d5? Because he just sacrificed the knight on d5.
I have to tell you one thing.
Yeah.
I think we had this very position, and I even have
really?
and I even have it, maybe not us, maybe I had it with Elizabeth Pitts, but I even have a deja vu that we were talking about the name Bjorn Clausen Brink.
Okay.
Because I thought it sounded Danish. I think it was one of our very first episodes, and I think I even remember that the rook goes to a8.
Yeah, it is. So I don't remember using this example before, but it's also this kind of thing because it's a very famous example.
Yeah.
That if you see it once, you're probably going to remember it more times.
I mean,
but it's possible that we did it.
Yeah, it could also be I had it with Lawrence. I mean, it will always be a little bit overlap. But the great thing about this is I learned something. I know this tactic. Yes.
So rook e8, what is the point? Do you remember why this was working?
It works.
It's actually a lot easier to explain an exercise when you know that the move is working, and then to explain why it's working.
So of course,
let's say,
yes, please.
What happens here?
So I think we can now just take with the queen, and after this takes, we just win the rook back, and the pawns will decide the game.
Exactly. The bishop is way stronger than the knight, and this is the type of endgame that's very simple to. Yeah, we're gonna push the pawns, bring the king, and.
But there's also another variation which is a bit more tricky. I think after the checks,
The check, yeah.
So, we can still go up with the king, but.
Yeah, it always looks scary to do this to yourself, but of course the bishop is pinned, which was the whole point. This one was a bit more complicated, I would say. Not complicated.
Okay, yeah.
Now there's a quiet winning move, which is cutting off the bishop's.
Yeah, it's b3, right?
Pathway back. Yeah. So I'm sure if you'd remember, like you wouldn't remember these little details, but the ideas are still there. So you cut off the bishop from protecting, and queen d5 was a threat. So knight e7 was played, and even my computer just forcibly played my queen to h5, which I think is a really good move, and that just wins. So
that looks very nice. So the king goes to e6, but then the rook goes behind the knight. Just
at this point it doesn't even have to be forced. It's a kind of
the rook doesn't go to e8. I even remember that because it's a check on c6. Yes, d5 is the one which is working.
Yeah, exactly. So there already it's not going well for black. And the most critical variation probably is bishop a2. What happens next after the recapture? This is the only winning move. Also the hard one to find, but
I'm not sure. I mean,
not that hard, but it's just quiet. I wouldn't
Yeah.
even say it's quiet
I'm not
because
sure
it
if
threatens
it's
mate, so it's not quiet.
Queen C6.
Yeah, so you have
Oh,
a really good memory for this
I
position. Maybe
don't know.
you
I
left a
think
bit.
now I had to think right now, but yeah, it looks good. And you gave
Yeah,
me the
Queen
tip with the
C6.
quiet move, of course. Queen C6
Yeah,
is very nice because it also dodges the check on C1. Okay. And
So
once again,
then he
D5.
continued with Rook
Oh,
C8, another like move. So all of these, they all also protecting from Queen C1. Queen C6 was
exactly.
protecting because we don't want Queen C1 and the bishop to come back to D5 and like even checkmate us.
Yeah.
So this is perfect and it's working out well. So as long as white doesn't need to win right away because 2 pieces for a rook is still good, so they're gonna actually win it even in a slower way by just attacking some pawns, making some more checkmate threats. So the game still ended pretty soon because it's Tal and he sees all the tactics perfectly, and it was over after Queen C8. But the most shocking moment was, of course, Rook A8 because that's a nice kind of move that doesn't happen often with so many pins, and the poor bishop being able to take 3 pieces, but not doing
But
anything
actually
about
not
it.
being able to.
Yeah, actually only
exact
being able to take one
A2.
of them.
So cool.
Yeah, so
Beautiful.
do you want another one?
No, that's it.
No.
We close this beautiful session with absolutely stunning examples. Oh, come on, let's do another one. Now, let's do another one. You had one prepared.
It doesn't matter. But
Let's play
the other one
let's
is
play
not too
another
long.
one.
The other
Okay.
one is not too long at all. It's a
Extra
different
content
type of
for you
exercise.
at home.
Black to play. And what do you think about this position? Queen B2 white played, and it is black to play.
I
How
like
would you
it.
feel in a position like that?
I like it, those positions too. For some weird reason, because there's always like this pawn breakthrough or this sacrifice which will lead the pawns to
Right? But
just
you're
get
playing
out of
black.
there. Yeah.
So that's not such great news.
Can I not just go king b7?
If you go king b7, they're going to play b6.
I can't take?
And break through with queen b4.
Ew.
Not queen b4, queen b5.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the queen invades somewhere here, here, or
Not
here,
good.
and
We don't
wins.
want that. We don't
We
want
don't
those
want
queen
that.
invasions.
So we're gonna try to go for a fortress.
Oh, you know what? Yes. Oh, that's
You
so
see it?
cool. Queen b6, right?
Yeah, exactly. I thought this one was gonna be quick because there's actually nothing else to do.
Man, that is so cool. That was
But imagine
happening in a
being
real
able to do
game.
this in a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is from a game. Imagine being able to do this. It's by Hazai Laszlo as black.
Don't know.
And Petrosian, not the world champion Petrosian, but
Petrosian.
another Petrosian
Yeah.
as white. So this was an actual game.
Pretty crazy.
In some open. So queen b6. I mean, it's not such a crazy move to like find because here this was not one of those positions that we saw earlier where there's a billion opportunities. Here it's a very cramped up position, but it still makes it very very fun because this is absolutely a fortress. Do you see any way to break through for white?
No, but well, the queen can sacrifice maybe on e5, but even if the king is on a8 or h8, it will still be quick enough to, or is it the case? Well, if the king would be too far away, yeah, exactly, then that would work. Yeah, so the king has to always be a little bit aware of a queen sacrifice, but besides that, that's it. I wonder how the computer estimates this position.
The computer estimates that white is winning.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So
yeah,
funny,
but
right?
after you make a few moves, like after a while, it starts saying that it's a draw. So I guess when you get to a certain position that was analyzed for like ages by some like engines, then it will show that it's equal. But I'm pretty sure my stockfish was just showing that it's winning for white.
Yeah.
And I was like, how is this possible? But
hey,
yeah, no matter what white does, they tried to open up the H file, which was a nice try, but
yeah, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, because the queen can go around, but
Black closed it again,
Yep.
and there's no breakthroughs. So the king tried to go to a4 and maybe do some tricks with queen
yeah.
a5, but that would
Wait
of
a
course
second,
not work.
please. Can you go? I
Yeah.
think I mean, I'm wrong. I know that, but I just wanted to see it because so
Yeah.
go back to more moves. Okay, so why can't the queen go to d1 or b1 now? No, yeah,
Okay.
we take b1. Because now h3 was pushed forward. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, so that's true.
And
That's the point of h4, to open
yeah,
it up. And
because if the queen even goes to h1, then h2 is played, of
yeah,
course.
and even some moves earlier, like if the queen does it now and you want to do your sneaky h4 here,
Yeah, we
I'm
just
pretty
play
sure I'm just
h4
gonna play
first.
h4
Yeah,
myself.
that's important.
So yeah, that's actually pretty important, because if we get, let's say, the same position, but with h4 now, I feel like this is already not great, because now I think black is actually gonna lose.
Exactly.
And if
This was what I was
bishop
thinking.
takes,
Yeah.
then we might. If bishop takes, I'm still
No,
think it's in.
white will win this.
Yeah, white will
Yeah.
definitely win if the queen gets anywhere on the
So this is
on
something
h3.
to keep in mind. See, and I
So
already
we need
thought
to
like,
lock the queen
it's
down
clear.
with, yeah. In the game, it was through h3 and h4, and no matter what white did, queen a5 is not working because the pawn is not going to promote, and ended up being a draw, which
You
was,
probably think about taking on a5, but then you go like, nah, it's just not working.
yeah. So that was a different type of exercise, but
Beautiful.
that's the
Super,
final
super
one.
cool. Oh, that was very, very enjoyable. We saw like the smartest of the smart moves, especially this first game stunner. My goodness. So, everybody, thank you so much for watching. We keep it up. Next week, very likely we're back with some more of Svitlana's smart moves. Bye for now.